Give me one example that he's racist.
Okay, Trump has flat out, flat with the racism.
I came here legally, so I think it's important for people to understand that they can't be above the law.
Me personally, I'm a big supporter of ICE. They help keep our streets clean.
If we're going to be quite honest, I couldn't give you a specific...
I know, you can't. So they're consenting to an interview. We have security guards that don't know the rules of campus or the First Amendment. Hi. So I have a sign out here today. ICE has been in the news very recently. How do you guys feel about ICE? Do you support them?
Me personally, I'm a big supporter of ICE. They help keep our streets clean. I know there's a lot of controversy related to the newest issue of ICE with, I think, what was her name again? I forgot her
Renee
name.
Good.
Renee Good. Originally, when I first saw the original post, I was kind of 50-50 on it. It was blasted by the media to seem as if ICE kind of killed her unwillingly, unlawfully. But if you look at multiple angles, multiple POVs of the video, it's very obvious that she intended to hit the officer with her car and he acted in self-defense. And actually, there was a state statute posted by Tim Walz himself saying that it is within lawful reason for an officer to fear for his life if there's a vehicle threatening him in any way. And so he did it, lawfully. So I feel like that was
See how easy it is to do your research, you guys, and not just go off of one single video? How do you feel about ICE?
You got it.
Yeah. So
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All of these women in these photos, well, some of them aren't even women. She was only 12. They were brutally murdered and raped, then murdered by illegal immigrants, people that never should have entered this country. They would have still be alive today if Biden wouldn't have had our border wide open for 4 years.
I agree.
Yeah. There's people on campus who refuse to condemn the men in this photo.
You got it.
You walk among people who refuse to condemn rapists just because they're illegal immigrants.
Yeah, I feel like people nowadays in our country like to support, the people who are illegal and, do things wrongfully, as opposed to people who actually want to do good in our country. This is public, by the way, but okay.
What about all those people blocking the walkway?
Part of why I'm trying to do it is you're gotten a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a student here. This is all public, by the way.
Yeah, it's all public. We can stand wherever we want. Because this is stolen land, right? That's what they always say.
Oh, yeah. No, it's more like conquered land, but, believe what you want to believe.
Hey guys, you can follow me at Her Patriot Voice.
But I do have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Why would you say you support ICE?
Yeah, because they would get rid of these rapists and murderers that killed American women.
So are all of the immigrants that come into America rapists and killists?
Nope.
Oh, okay, so
let's get rid of these ones? You agree with that?
yeah.
Okay, so you support ICE removing them?
No. I support the condemnation, as you said, of a rapist. But, there are white rapists, there are black rapists, there are
white immigrant rapists as well.
Okay, but again, there are rapists of different colors.
Why does the color matter when it comes to rape?
You just made it about you just made it
No,
about
you did.
color. No, you did. You said
You brought up white rapists.
Okay, because you said that immigrants rape, right? So white people rape.
I didn't say immigrants rape. I said these immigrants raped.
So those immigrants raped. What about white people that raped?
What about them?
Are there no condemnations for them?
Absolutely. We're condemning rape as a whole, but if these people wouldn't have been able to enter under Biden's open border policies, these women would still be alive today.
Right. So what about the people who are coming to America for a better life because they were experienced similar situations where they came from?
Yeah, they can come here for a better life. I'm all for legal immigration.
Legal immigration. Okay, so what about, so our president here, his name is Trump. That's a pretty racist man.
How?
How?
Give me an example of his
Watch
racism.
the news.
Give me one example. Just give me one example.
Just watch the news, sweetheart. There are plenty of examples.
Watch the news, sweetheart. Give me one example that he's racist.
Okay, Trump has flat out, flat with the racism.
How?
Comments, concerns.
What comments? Name one comment that he said that was racist.
Okay.
Because if he's racist, I want to know, because I don't want to support a racist.
So you support Trump?
I do, yeah. Can you tell me why he's racist?
She supports Trump.
So we've been sitting here for nearly a minute now, and she has still yet to tell me one thing that Trump has said that's racist.
Okay, so if we're going to be quite honest, I couldn't give you a specific...
I know, you can't.
Oh, no, I'm not done speaking. I couldn't give you a specific because I don't pay attention to idiocy. And
okay.
That's idiocy.
So if you're going to call someone racist, I think you should be able to prove it.
Watch the news.
Pull up a clip where he's racist. Go ahead.
Great. I'm so glad you asked.
It must not have been racist enough to remember because you have to look it up. How do you guys feel about ICE?
Oh, all of these people are
Thumbs up for ICE, thumbs down.
people that are against ICE. You
I'm
see,
asking people. What's wrong with asking people their opinion?
I didn't say anything.
Did you find the racist clip yet?
wrong with that? I just said that there were people. Majority of them here are against ICE
How do you know that?
because I know them.
Okay. Well, he supports ICE.
You support ICE? Which one? You? You support ICE? Oh, okay. I didn't think so,
What does ICE stand for?
babe.
So you don't support something that you don't even know what it stands for.
Oh, I didn't respond for a reason.
Can you tell me what it stands for?
No, we're gonna go back to the Trump racism.
Right, okay. You can ask me a question if you want.
Why do you have this stance? I mean, obviously, it's because of these criminals.
Just part of the reason, yeah.
Okay, but what's the whole reason?
I just don't believe that people should illegally enter the country and be able to take our resources, our jobs, and then rape and kill our women.
Okay.
But I'm all for immigration. I have many, many friends that were legal immigrants, and I totally support doing it the right way. But people that are doing it illegally are not only cutting in line, but they're also actively breaking the law. And every single day that they stay in this country, as an illegal immigrant, they're breaking the law.
Okay. I mean, I agree it is illegal to enter the country illegally. But I think everybody kind of has a issue with the way ICE operates. And I want to ask you, what do you see any issues with the way ICE operates, or do you think the way they do things is just totally fine?
Are you specifically talking about the situation with Renee Good
We can talk about
that happened last week?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I waited to make a comment on it after I saw multiple video angles, and I think the most telling video angle was the video. Renee Good was somebody who harassed and fought against ICE agents. And I don't know what you were taught growing up, but I was taught don't harass a man with a gun. Don't mess with a guy with a gun. And in his angle of the video, the cop, right? It's not smart, especially if you don't have a gun yourself. And on his angle of his point of view, Renee Good actively stepped on the gas and her car physically hit the officer. I've never been in a situation where someone was about to run over me with a car, but you know what? If I think it's between my life and being run over by a car, I'm gonna choose my life. And he shot straight ahead, and unfortunately she lost her life. And she lost her life for nothing.
When you say he shot straight ahead and she unfortunately lost her life, I mean, I think if you shoot a gun, you're shooting to kill. There's no question about it. But
Cops are trained to do that.
I would beg to differ. I mean, I think cops should be trained to de-escalate situations, and that should be the last means.
How do you de-escalate somebody trying to run over you with their car?
So I'm not a cop, first and foremost.
Just
nor
as
am
a
I trained to
person.
do So I mean, I wouldn't put myself in a situation in front of the car to be ran over.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly.
The cop should have been standing right there, is what I'm saying.
He shouldn't have been standing there.
He should have been standing in front
Well,
of the
he
car.
was standing in the road. He asked her multiple times to get out of the car, and she refused. And her wife said, "Drive, baby, drive." And she hit on the gas.
I could be wrong, but based off of what I saw, I don't believe him asking her to step out of the car was a lawful order.
How is that not a lawful order? When a cop tells you to do something, to step out of the vehicle, she was blocking the road. That's not allowed.
Yeah, but that's not a reason for you to be asking somebody to get out of the car.
Why not?
I mean,
When you're illegally blocking a road?
I've never had a cop pull me over and ask me to get out of the car for anything. I mean, even if
Well, that's good. Have you illegally blocked roads and harassed officers?
No, I'm not that type of person to do that.
Okay, so when a cop asks you to do something, whether you think you're in the right or not, the law will determine at the end of the day. To avoid it escalating and you possibly getting harmed and losing your life, I would just recommend that you comply. And she probably would have been just sent home afterwards.
Possibly, I can agree with that. I think that situation escalated on both ends. But what I can say is, I think the loss of life over an issue where you're checking, it's like it's a very subjective operation that they have going, and that's just in my
Subjective?
Subjective. Like I could say you're doing X, Y, and Z, and then I'm like, okay, let me see your ID, let me start checking this, let me do that. I don't think they should have the authority to do anything with traffic. I don't see why he would be stopping, standing in front of the car, trying to tell her to get out.
Because she was actively harassing them and maybe even was threatening things. I haven't seen every single angle of the video. I've seen most of them, but the one that was most telling was the point of view of the officer, where you literally hear the car hit him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Whoa!"
Body cam did come on.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even the body cam. It was actually on his iPhone.
Oh, he recorded on his phone. Oh, they don't wear body cams.
They do, but the one he was also filming on his phone.
Okay. So let me ask you: do you know why they were there?
Yeah, they were responding to like rounding up some immigrants. That's what I heard.
They were responding to rounding up immigrants.
They were responding to some immigrants that needed to be arrested, I believe.
Okay, and I mean, I want to, if we're going to speak about that, I'd like to know a little bit more information than just immigrants that were they on actual investigation? Were they conducting an investigation? Were they conducting a raid? What exactly?
Yeah, maybe it was a raid. I can't speak on it for sure. I can't say 100%. I probably should educate myself about that. You could agree with me that the men in these photos should have never been allowed in the country, right? Because not only were they illegal, but then they also raped women and murdered them.
Nobody said come through. If you come through illegally, you've obviously jumped a fence you weren't supposed to jump or something like that. You know what I mean? Figuratively speaking. But it's like, I don't know if, and my issue isn't with necessarily these guys being arrested or deported or anything by that, because they did commit a crime, 2 of them in fact, and one of them being very, I mean, I recognize that clearly, but I think this message and the way that it's portrayed by yourself is very outspoken in a sense. And that,
I am very outspoken.
Yeah, I see that. There's nothing wrong with being outspoken, but it comes off, I mean, the last lady you interviewed, she definitely brought race into the equation, and that's definitely a factor when it comes to this. It's my question to
you.
Who? I'm sorry?
To who cares about race when it comes to illegal immigrants?
I want to get to that point.
Okay.
My thing is, okay, if we're going to conduct operations about trying to stop illegal immigration and get illegal immigrants who are criminals out of the country, how do we go about that in a way that does not cause incidents like that occurred, like we were just talking about? People
just don't do that. Don't harass officers. It's very simple.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that the need is as extreme as it ended up being. I'm saying a lady shouldn't have to die because we were trying to do something like that.
I wish she would not have harassed the officer and try to run him over.
I don't think the room for those situations should be able to even be a thought. So how does ICE prevent things like this from happening? How do they conduct what they need to do without disturbing anybody else? You understand what I mean? Without potentially having loss of life, and how do they legally do it?
Well, because they're legally doing their job, but it's people, it's bystanders, it's citizens that have bought into this leftist propaganda that says these people are illegal, they shouldn't be able to round up illegal immigrants and criminals, so you can go and stop them. You do not mess with men with guns. You do not mess with law enforcement. We don't have as much power as these ICE agents do. They have a job to do, and these people also have families. They don't want to die when they go to work. They're prepared to, because that's part of it. That's part of the job. You're putting yourself in dangerous situations. But these people want to keep Americans safe. The safety of Americans is of utmost priority to President Trump and to his administration. Americans come first, and people from outside the country that were not born in America have the opportunity to come here legally the right way. We both agree that that's the right way to do it, and then become a citizen. And it is a long, expensive process, but if people want it, they'll do it the right way.
I agree. People have lives to live, people have families, everything like that. I can see this getting in the way and infringing on citizens' lives that are legally here. I personally, and I'm gonna give you an example.
Sorry.
I personally, if ICE was here and say they were conducting a raid, what's a very, where is it? Is it Minneapolis, where there is a very high Somalian, I believe?
Yeah, that's also where Renee Good was killed. I don't know how you want to say it.
There's a very high, population of people that look like myself. It could be mistaken for myself. So say I'm at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm getting groceries, and ICE has a mission or assignment to conduct there. I believe if I got stopped, I'm not gonna sit there and fight with them or anything like that, or put myself in a situation to be harmed because they have the power in a sense. But I feel like my right to just do what I'm doing as an American citizen, born American citizen, is kind of infringed upon. I don't want to be stopped. I don't want to have somebody walking up to me with a gun on their hip.
That's just part of living in every country. You should see how it is in places like Israel. They're carrying AKs on their shoulders.
If you seem very patriotic, and if you're that patriotic, I don't think we should be comparing that to other countries. This is America.
Right. Yes, that's true. But you have nothing to worry about as long as you're an American citizen, you're a taxpayer, you're not a criminal, right? So if a cop comes up to you and profiles you, am I saying that's right or wrong? No. But you know what's so unfortunate for the black community? That is wrong. But you know what's so unfortunate is that people like these Somalians and then other black and brown individuals that come into this country and do not share the American values, they make it so hard for people that look like you and me, because then it goes where people see people like us and they assume, oh, I know how they are, because I'm gonna assume if I see like you're Somali, you're presenting that way in the way you dress or carry yourself, and I'm gonna assume because of all this $9 billion in fraud that's been come out of Somalia that a lot of these people might be in on it. And that's because these small amount of people have ruined it for the rest of the black and brown population.
I think living in a society as an educated person as yourself, I know you're very educated. You seem educated. I think it is just naive, idiotic, and just flat out stupid to think that just because of this small group of people, you're very aware. That's the thing. You're very aware. This small group of people can be pushed and generated to a widespread group, like a profile, essentially, like profiling somebody. I think that is just an outlandish statement, and I think you also realize that, but
let's be honest though. When we see someone, like if I saw you sagging your pants and you had a big hoodie on and the hood over your head and you were in a back alley, I would automatically profile you as a dangerous guy. Maybe you're doing a drug deal, maybe you're doing something. So the way that you present yourself and then the way that you act does create, the ability for people to profile you.
Let me ask you this. What's the norm?
The norm? You seem very normal. You seem put together. You look like you showered this morning. You don't have this threatening body language toward me like some of these individuals have today. I feel very comfortable speaking with you. That's the norm. A norm isn't a color. It's not a religion. It's not an association. It's acting like a civilized human being.
Right. And what is acting like a civilized human being? I know I'm continuing.
You're a perfect representation of it.
I appreciate that.
And I think I've been pretty civilized today too.
Yeah, I can agree. But I think that just to say, okay, this is the example of somebody that is put together, the norm, and it's to see somebody as an outlier who might not just be the norm. They might just like to sag their pants. They might, like to not shower. If you want to live your life, live it that way.
That's your prerogative, but don't be, offended when you don't get opportunities or when, because you're not presenting. This is a civilized country.
Subjectiveness, you know what I mean?
But this is a civilized country.
I agree, and we can all civilly coexist in a way without,
People don't want to coexist with ICE and let them do their job that they've been hired to do.
I see where you're coming from, but I can't agree with you today, and I think that's fine.
The first crime you said was that they came in the country illegally.
Yes, that's a crime.
Every illegal immigrant should be deported, and they can be deported with their family members that were born in America. So if a couple came in the country illegally and had children that are American born, we're not trying to separate families. One thing that Obama did is he actually created the cages that were used under the first Trump administration. He created the cages.
He created what cages?
The cages that the illegal immigrants were put in.
Alcatraz?
No, that was Trump. Right. He created that. And actually, those are air-conditioned buildings, actually. These were just cages that he was putting people in. And I don't know if you know this, but Obama was actually nicknamed the deporter-in-chief. And under his administration, he deported over 3.1 million illegal immigrants, and nobody said a word. No leftist had any problem with it. Hillary Clinton, Obama talked about it even when he was running, said if you come to the country illegally, you will be deported. It's so simple. So why is it so crazy when Trump says it now? Why is it all of a sudden racist when Trump says it?
I think Trump has said some very outlandish things that can be taken as racist. I think, and if you want to compare the Obama administration with his and I don't even know if I haven't fact checked you. I don't know if that's correct, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, look up Deporter-in-Chief, Obama. Okay. That was his nickname.
Yeah. They've got a lot of nicknames for Trump too. That might help. But at the same time, let's say that is the instance, and you ask, why do people have to say it when this administration does it? Well, I mean, it's clearly the way that they do it.
No, it's just selective outrage. It's because Trump did it, it's bad. If you come into the country illegally, maybe you're not committing violent crimes, but you've still committed a crime.
Right.
And so then you have to go back. And Trump is actually being super nice, and he is allowing people to self-deport themselves. They will literally buy a one-way flight
with $3,000.
a one-way flight back to their home country, and then they can come back in the country legally.
Where they have nothing.
Whose fault is that?
I agree. It's
not Trump's fault.
At the same time, you talk about the communism in Venezuela.
It's not my fault they were born into that.
I agree. It's not their fault they were born into that, but they don't have anything, and they're there. You understand what I mean? If this is why I wanted to just talk about it. Like I don't even really consider this like a debate more so. I just wanted to pick your brain. There is a right way to do it.
Okay, yeah, we'll wrap up.
If there was a right way to do it, I believe that this way is just entirely too controversial. I think that it's completely messy. I think that there are way better ways to do it. And to go back to your point with Obama's administration, that is probably why, if he did do that, like I said, I hadn't fact checked your statistics or anything.
It's true. You can fact check me.
Okay. You let the people do it. But if he did that, that's probably why it was nothing said about it, because there was a right way to do things.
It's the same thing. Same thing happened. It's just like orange man bad, Trump did it, so it must be wrong. That's literally the mindset.
Law to do that to Maduro. There was no.
Yeah, so he didn't get congressional approval, but then the same liberals who say they're so mad that Trump broke the law are totally fine with these men being in the country.
No, they're not.
They are. I interviewed two girls over there that said they refuse to condemn the actions of these individuals on this board.
I didn't hear that from them. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Well, you can watch it, hear her Patriot voice. What's your name?
My name's Zach.
Was Zach. Yeah. He's been awesome.
It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you. Thank you. Hi, how are you doing? Good. Nice to meet you. I'm Savannah.
I'm Jackie. It's nice to meet you. I just kind of wanted to talk to you just kind of about what you're doing here today. I mean, I support ICE as well. I came here legally, so I think it's important for people to understand that they can't be above the law.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I just kind of want to hear your thoughts about it a little bit and talk to you about it.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you for being brave and sharing that in front of this group of people that most likely does not agree with you, and for just respecting our country enough to come here legally. But I'm out here today because, just like you, I support ICE. I support the actions that they've had to take because we need to crack down on crime. We need to protect Americans, and especially specifically on this board, we have 4 victims of illegal immigration. These women were brutally raped and then murdered, and their lives were ended way too soon. So I'm here to stand for you and for them today.
That's absolutely awful to hear about that. I mean, it just breaks my heart, honestly, to think that people think that it's okay and that people support, the fact that people just can come over our borders without any legal documentation. So I appreciate you being out here and kind of sharing your thoughts, and thank you so much for allowing me to kind of talk with you. It's great to get to know you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
She's from the Hi.
Hi.
I work with the Chanticleer today.
Nice.
I can just talk to you really quick?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Do you mind if I record just so I can go back?
Totally fine.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
I'm Emma.
nice to meet you. I'm Savannah.
Nice to meet you. So, Savannah, why did you come to Coastal today?
Right, so there's been a lot of craziness with the news lately about ICE and what happened with Renee Good. Rest in peace. She was recently shot by ICE officers, and there's been a lot of misinformation around it. A lot of people haven't watched all the video angles, and I've also come to stand up for the 4 women on this poster that were brutally raped and then murdered by illegal immigrants. Yeah. So just here to have productive conversations about it, get people's opinions.
Why do you think it's so important to come on to college campus specifically?
Right. Well, I think after what happened to Charlie Kirk, I think we need to sort of carry the torch in a way and continue to, not be afraid, not let people scare you into using your First Amendment right. And he can no longer be out here. So now it's up to me.
Yeah. How do you feel being here today? Has it been difficult? Has it been easy?
Yeah, I mean, I would never say it's difficult because I have the facts on my side, but I hate to see people so aggressive and get so upset about something, because how are we going to move forward as a country, whether you think it's better for more conservatives or liberals to be in power, if we can't even have simple conversations about it?
100%.
Hi there. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good.
I don't really have a question, to be honest. I was hoping you'd ask me a couple questions.
Okay, I can ask you anything. What do you think about my sign? Do you support?
I love your sign.
Okay,
Yeah, I do
cool.
support ICE in this
Awesome.
country, for sure.
But you're brown.
I know,
I
know.
thought ICE was racist toward brown people.
No, absolutely not. I grew up in a Christian household, so my parents taught me right. I completely support the police and what ICE is doing. If you're not from this country, you shouldn't be in this country unless you get the proper papers and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you have to say for the people who would not support these rapists and murderers being deported from America?
I mean, look at the facts. These people are coming over here, raping and killing American citizens. Just saw a story where some girl got killed and raped and thrown over a bridge by an illegal immigrant, and that just shouldn't be allowed. That could be easily avoided. Yeah, if like I said, we send these people back and they're not allowed to come in our country illegally.
Yeah, so I want to clarify, because I don't think I clarified this earlier. If you come into the country illegally and then you also rape and murder women, you don't get to come back, even legally. That's my opinion on it. You lost your privileges, okay? Because women, Jocelyn was 12, you guys. For people, imagine if this was your sister, your niece. It's like, why is this so difficult? Oh, there was no problem when Obama did this. It's just like, I don't get it.
I saw a stat that Barack Obama actually deported more illegal immigrants than Trump did, and yet people are getting on Trump about it.
Right.
It just shows how much they dislike him, and honestly, common sense, people lack that in America.
Very, very true. Well, thank you so much. Keep it up. You're part of the Turning Point group?
I am going to be.
You got to join. They're awesome. I need you guys to save this campus, because every time I come here, it gets worse. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate
Nice
it.
to meet you.
Anyone else? Maybe from the anti-ICE side? Do we have anyone from anti-ICE side? Anyone that wants to speak against ICE? Or just has a comment? Anyone want to cuss me out? Anything? Okay. I think we're good. All right, everyone. So Coastal restored me a little bit, because at the end of all of that, we were able to have some really good productive conversations. I think campus is more pro-ICE than we really think, and we have quite a crowd around here. I think that the people also realize that they can't kick us off public property when we're just trying to have productive, consensual conversations. So if you want to help me keep coming out here, hire security, support my work, you can go to patreon.com/herpatriotvoice. And if you see that red subscribe button, go ahead and click it so you don't miss another upload. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm so happy to be back and making consistent content for you guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys.